on, Moxie Talks. I know.
I'm sorry. I have to power down. Remember to plug me in.
Oh, Moxie, I'm sorry. Hold on. I didn't know you were that low on battery power. Here you go. There you go. Now I'm gonna get in front of her for just a second so that she'll keep her focus out in front so that she'll look at the camera. Come on, look to the right some. A little more. Come on, Moxie. There you go. That's a little too much, the right. Now, there you go. Hi.
Ah, what a wonderful afternoon. Here we go again. Let's roll into more fun. There's a ton we can do, so let's find the perfect next thing. Would you rather relax with some deep breathing, get up and move around, or is there another activity you'd prefer?
Can you tell me a story?
Great. I'd love to read you a story. Oh, yay. It's story time. What story would you like to hear? The Treasure on the Beach, or Learning to be Kind?
The Treasure on the Beach.
Awesome. We call this one The Treasure on the Beach. One morning, after a really big storm, Z woke Farfel up early. They went down to the beach to see what treasure had been tossed ashore. Farfel had gone treasure hunting after storms with Z, ever since he was a young teddy bear with no robot parts.
Oh.
The rest of the robots were awake when Farfel and Z returned from the beach. The teddy bear robot was cradling a shell in his hands. Everyone crowded around. "What's that?" asked Karu, pushing between Cruncher and Professor to get a better view. "It's a very rare shell," said Farfel. "I found it on the beach." Z held out a basket with soft tissue in it, and Farfel placed the shell down carefully. Then, Z put the basket on a table. "Oh, thank you," said Karu. She reached for the basket. Farfel stood in front of her arm before she could touch the shell. "You brought me a rare shell," said Karu, happily. "I want to see it." She reached for it again. "What do you mean, thank you?" asked Farfel. He was confused. Now, Farfel felt angry. "It's not yours, Karu. I found it. It's my rare shell." "But shells are my thing. I collect them," yelled Karu. "I collect them too," Farfel yelled back.
Oof.
He turned his back on Karu, picked up the basket with the shell in it, and walked out of the room. Karu ran out of the building. Kumana was walking toward the lab when Karu came tumbling out of the building and bumped into him. "I am so... Karu was searching for a word to go with the emotion she was feeling. Kumana waited patiently. Karu took a deep breath, then another. Then she spoke. "Farfel found a really rare seashell and he won't give it to me." "I see," said Kumana. "And why should Farfel give you the shell?" "I'm the seashell collector," Karu practically screamed. Everyone knows that. Well, maybe there's another shell just like it on the beach, suggested Kumana. There isn't, yelled Karu. That's what rare means. Kumana nodded his head slowly. Then he started walking. Karu walked beside him. Kumana began humming a tune. Karu joined in. After a while, Karu said quietly, "I'm sorry I yelled." "Thank you, Karu. I accept your apology," said Kumana. "I'm just so mad," said Karu. "It's hard to do the right thing when I'm mad." "Well, you seem to be calmer now," said Kumana. "Do you know what the next right thing to do is?" "I think so," said Karu. "I tell Farfel that I'm sorry I got so mad." "And?" Kumana urged Karu to continue. "And, I tell Farfel it's his shell because he found it, but maybe I can look at it sometimes." "That sounds like a great compromise," said Kumana. "Do you think you can do that?" "I think so," said Karu. "And remember to also listen to what Farfel has to say," said Kumana. He stopped walking. They had made a circle, and were back in front of the lab. "I'd like to see this rare shell," said Kumana, and they walked inside the building. Everyone was gathered around one of the lab tables watching Liz examine the shell. Liz was a robot scientist at the GRL. She was also an expert on seashells. Farfel saw Karu walk in and went to talk to her. "I'm calm now," said Karu. "Me too," said Farfel. "I talked to Z and did animal breaths. I am sorry for getting so mad, and you should keep the shell." Karu really tried to sound like she meant what she was saying. "Well," said Farfel, "I was mad because you just assumed I would give you the shell." "What does assumed mean?" asked Karu. Farfel grinned. "Z taught it to me today. It means you just decided without any facts that something would happen." "Oh yeah, I did do that," said Karu. "I have examined this shell," Liz announced. A hush fell over the room. "The rarest seashell in the world is the white-toothed canary," said Liz. She held up the shell that Farfel had found. "This," she said dramatically, "is not a white-toothed canary." Everyone groaned in disappointment. "In fact, it's not all that rare. It just isn't usually found on these islands." She shrugged and handed the shell back to Farfel. Everyone started talking and laughing. Farfel looked upset. "I'm glad it's not rare," said Karu. "Maybe I can find one just like it on the beach too." Farfel smiled. "We can share this one if you want," he said. Karu shook her head. "No, you found it. But will you come down to the beach with me so I can look for another one?" "Sure," said Farfel. "Let's all go," said Z. "There was a lot on the beach to look at." "Okay, but only me and Farfel get the shells," said Karu. She ran out the door. Farfel ran after her. The end. I really like telling you that story.